So it's officially been a month since England's World Cup exit happened, where we lost to Argentina in the World Cup semi-final. And yes, it's been a month now, but I'm going to tell you my thoughts because I think my heartbreak is officially over now. After all the pain that has happened, the damage that's happened since we lost to Argentina, it's finally went away. So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the LionWatch. So firstly, welcome back to the LionWatch video. I know it's been a while for video, but I just needed to have time after the World Cup. I was also watching the Commonwealth Games as well as it happened right after the World Cup. So yeah, but I'm going to tell you about my thoughts about this World Cup in England in general. So first up, the group stage performances. We did all right. Yeah, we did a good. We had a good group stage. Yeah, finishing top of the table with 7 points. With beat Croatia 4-2, drawing against Ghana, which was a very disappointing game, and also beating Panama 2-0. That was a good. That was a good group stage. We had a good game. It was sort of an easy performance, but yeah, and I feel like we had like a very solid group stage, and I feel like it went really well, and I thought it was like a very joyful and interesting experience to have. Knockout stage, knockout stage has been absolutely mental. I would say, if I had to describe one thing about the knockout stage, it will be I think that this will be England's best knockout stage in a very long time. Even though we finished third this year, I think this is the best England's knockout stage in a very long time. You can say that Euros 2 years ago was good, but we had to come from behind to win tournaments, and we was not really having a great tournament back then in Euro 2024. But I feel like this one was was a great one. Was a good World Cup knockout stage. Coming from behind against Congo, coming back to win it. That was a great game. Mexico, one of the best games I've ever watched as an England fan. Then who did we face? Norway, we beat them in extra time, so that was a good game to watch. Then Argentina when we lost that 2-1, and then we had that great game against France in the third place playoff. We won. So I feel like we had a good knockout stage. My best game, I will say, as I said, I think it has to be Mexico. I know a lot of people are saying the France game was the best game. I do think the Mexico game away was the best game to play because I've never seen a better performance than England fan since I've been watching England. I've been watching England now for 9 years. Well, not really 9 years. I've been watching for about 10 years now, just over 10 years. I think the first game was I think it was against Netherlands in a friendly 10 years ago in March 2016, and it was just a great thing to watch. And well, I've been the first time I actually went to watch it in again was 9 years ago. So yeah, that is all it is. Yeah. Um, Biggest moment I'll have to say is probably when we beat Mexico in a lot of circumstances after we struggled to beat them in their extreme heat weather. We've beaten them in that time. Um, the biggest surprise I will say when we did concede first against Congo, that was my biggest surprise I've ever seen as an England fan. I thought like, wow, I didn't think Congo will actually give us a good fight, and they did give us a good fight, and we had to win it. So that was yeah. The player who's impressed me, and this is a hard one to say. I think the player that has impressed me is probably will be either Dead Spence from Tottenham. Well, he's not as I'm recording this video. He just left Tottenham. Um, Dead Spence. I think he's surprised. I feel like he will. I didn't think he will do that well as he had a very horrible season at Tottenham after Tottenham had to survive from last game of the season. I thought that he surprised me. Um, my personal favourite moment as an England fan, beating Mexico, beating France, and also when Anthony Gordon scored against Argentina. So I thought that was like the personal favourite moments that I've seen. Yeah. My impression. So player of the tournament. My player of the tournament, I will say, it will have to. There's two players I'm predicting: Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham as they were top goal scorers. But if I will have to say, I think Harry Kane's actually impressed a lot of people. You know what it's been like in the last couple of tournaments. He has impressed everybody, but I feel like he has impressed a lot of people this World Cup. So I feel like he's a good fan, and I think he's impressed it a lot. So yeah, so Harry Kane will be the press. Yeah, the player that has improved. Um, the player that has improved, I will have to go for Dan Burns, because Dan Burns was obviously headering. Thomas Tuchel always subs him on the last like 20 to 30 minutes left of the game, and always headers it and wins the match. So I think yeah, he was the player that has improved. Breakout player, um, breakout player. I think we'll have to go for. I'm gonna go for Anderson. Elliot Anderson. That's his first major call though he got for playing the World Cup. So I think Elliot Anderson it'll be him. He will go there. Um, Player to watch going forward, it will have to go Jude Bellingham, because he's the top goal scorer for England. So yeah, that's him. Yeah, the World Cup chat, as the World Cup is obviously finished now, it's obviously been a month. Obviously, England are going to go further. They're going to go into the Nations League in a couple of weeks' time. I will be doing videos about that for England and Nations League. So don't think I'm quitting LionWatch. I'm not quitting LionWatch. I just started LionWatch. I want to get this channel growing. Um, and obviously, we're going to head to the Nations League. Our first game is against the world champions, which is Spain. Um, Obviously, before we head to the Nations League, England had a great World Cup, I will say, this year, finishing third, the second best World Cup performance we've had for over 60 years. So Thomas Tuchel has improved the England squad, definitely. So yeah, so it's credit to Tuchel. I wonder what he could be like for the Nations League. So hopefully he can improve the team, improve the solidity, and I hope all of that. Yeah, so yeah. But back into the Nations League, obviously our next stop is Spain away. We don't have to wait for long. It's not. It's just in a couple of weeks' time, facing them in the Nations League. I don't know who else we're facing in the Nations League, but I know we've got them in the Nations, and hopefully we can in the Nations League we can get further if we get to the final for the first time in the nation's history. The closest we've got is finishing third in the Nations League back in 2019. So if we do well this year, I think Tuchel can improve the team and fight for the necessary, and hopefully we can fight for all of that. And yeah, and that is ending of the video. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's honestly been a great World Cup for England and England fans, and whoever's travelled to America. Fair play to you for spending so much money. I'm grateful to support England, and I'm chuffed that we've got a best performance. And yeah, it's just a remarkable season. Like I said, we'll go again to Spain in a few weeks' time in September. Um, but yeah, hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, just please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.